I'll talk a little bit about that, demonstrate a few things, and we'll go from there. Not a good way to warm up, but it's what I do sometimes. So I started out kind of low and slow. And as my chops got warmer, I tended to go up through the octaves as I felt myself getting warm. And as I got warm in that register, I kept going a little higher. Began to incorporate the tongue. And then many different things like flutter tongue. Playing the didgeridoo sound. They're playing something like a group. Maybe something kind of fast. Anyway, everything that I play, I sing it. So if it's a phrase, or if I want to work on my double tongue, I sing it. And that will be the name of this master class. Sing it first. If I'm working on tongue, say double tongue. So I'm going to ask you a question. Who in you can tell me the hardest part or the hardest thing about practice? Anyone know? Raise your hand. You all practice, yes, yes. Motivation. That's close. What else? The hardest thing about practicing over here. Consistency, yeah. That can be difficult thing to overcome. Anyone else? Yes. That's a pretty good answer. Not the one I'm looking for, but that's a pretty good answer. Practicing on the things that you need to work on. The hardest thing about practicing is, anyone else? Yes. Say it again. That's very important. Not the answer I'm looking for, yes. That can be difficult. All of the answers are correct. The thing about music is there's no such thing as a wrong answer, but the answer I'm looking for is just starting. There's absolutely nothing difficult about practicing. And all the things you said, those are things that you work on once you start practicing. The most difficult thing about practicing is getting started. Because you have to have a room, you have to find a time to practice, and the room and time to coordinate. But the thing about singing, you can sing when you wake up. I wake up in the morning. Singing, you know, maybe in a little bit of a lower voice, but I'm working on something like you know, and maybe not in that upper register. I've been up for a while, had breakfast, talked with some of the members of my band, so I'm at my mid-range voice, but I'm always working on something. And so if you sing something, you can play it. That's with double tonguing. If you sing it, you can play it. Now you have to do the work on the instrument, and particularly the mouthpiece, because when you pick up the horn to play, sometimes you are distracted by the things that you know how to do. Someone said, working on the things that you need to work on instead of the ones that you're familiar with already. Again, that answer is true. But how to work on those things, that's very important. If you can sing something, you can play it. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to sing something to you guys, and I want you to sing it back. So I'm just going to do phrases. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, 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 way. Do, do, do. Sing out for me. Sa, do, 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 sa, do, 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 do. Oh, that's pretty good. Give yourself a round of applause. Now, I noticed when we got to that phrase, it got a little quiet. And see, the thing, the way that you learn to do something is very simple. You just have to try to do it. That's how you get it done. You try to do it. Students tell me something, oh, I can't do that. There's no such thing as the word can't. I don't allow my students to say can't because just because you're unfamiliar with something, you say something's hard. Well, playing in the key of E is hard. No, it's not. You're just not. You're just a little less familiar with that key. Nothing about music is hard. Nothing about music is difficult. Nothing about practice is difficult. You just have to start. And so when I sang, so you all kind of got into it. When I said, some people sing it, and the people that sing it, and you can't be that person. They'll be the ones to get it simply because they tried. So that phrase, that's what helps you learn the music. That applies to everything you're going to play in jazz, even classical or concert band. Why do we sing? Well, singing connects us to the music. And it doesn't matter if you can sing like Frederica von Stade or Placido Domingo. If you have that kind of voice, you sing because it helps you to play your instrument. I don't care what it is. Even if it's a percussion instrument, if you can sing the rhythm, that means that you've internalized it. Now, who knows what key I was singing in? Raise your hand. Anyone? Guess. Anyone? Yes. Was it E? No. Yes. Say it again. E flat? Nope. Yes, over here. Say it again. Yeah. It was a B flat. Let's give him a round of applause. He said E flat. We only had this only 12 notes, so you had another 9 guesses after that. But give yourself a round of applause for not knowing it, and I'll tell you why. Come on, let's applaud ourselves. You know why? I say applaud yourself for not knowing the key. No, you don't. And I'm not going to even ask you to attempt to figure out why I'm saying that. I'm saying applaud yourself because it doesn't matter that you didn't know the key, but you made music. Yeah, I was playing in B flat, but it didn't matter what key we were playing in. You didn't have to think about the key. For you those of you that are playing jazz in a jazz band, you get a chance to play a solo, and you say, oh, I gotta look at these chord changes. Yeah, what's the notes in the chord changes? And then what's the scales that go with those notes in the chord changes, chord scale relationship. And then you gotta figure all this stuff out. So while you're making music, you're doing math. That's no fun. It's a part of the process? Yes, it is. But right just then, a couple minutes ago, you didn't think about the key. You heard the sound and reproduced it. This is why I said sing it first. If you want to work on learning to solo, find a soloist that you like, a solo that you like, by a musician that you like to play. It doesn't have to be John Coltrane playing giant steps. It doesn't have to be even 4 or 5 courses. It could be one phrase. So, and I'll give you an example of that. You sing what I sing, but now I want you to sing what I play. I hear some of the cool people out there doing da da da. You're on pitch down an octave. I want you to sing an octave that I'm playing. And the reason I'm saying that is because let's all sing this song. Yeah. Yeah. Some people are still down in the bass register. You singing bass, singing the upper register. I try to get the folks that have a low voice to sing in the upper register. Those that have high voices to sing in the low register. We're going to stretch our ability to where we're singing. We're not going to sing in our comfortable registers. We're going to get in those registers that are, we want all the registers to become comfortable. And how do you do that? By not avoiding the ones that you're unfamiliar with. It's not difficult, you're just unfamiliar with how to make that sound. I used to say, I want the fellas, get in touch with your feminine side and say, hi. We're going to sing in the upper register because if you sing in that register, then you probably won't be afraid to play in that register. It's like a lot of times if some of the fellas haven't done it, and I can't do that. I'm saying, you're 30, 40 years younger than me. If I can do it, you can do it. And a lot of times we don't do things because we tell ourselves that we can't, and I'm here to tell you today, you can. I used to say, so ladies, get in touch with your masculine side. We're gonna say low, low, down. Let me hear the fellas do this. Ready? Ladies, let me hear ladies do this. Hey, hey, hey. Louder. Ha, 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 ha. And then do this. Da, 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 da. Down and octave. Now, the important thing is, even if you don't hit the note, that the air is moving through your body. So I want everyone to sing in the octaves that I sing. I'm going to start right about here. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go down. All right, so try this. Sing this, 2, 3.
ba da da da. Da 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 da.
Right now it's starting to thin out again. Don't let it thin out. Even if you haven't double tongue before, try it. That's all you have to do. Imitate the sound. See, because when you're singing, you don't have to think about position. You don't have to think about the finger. You don't even have to think about the key. All you have to do is reproduce what I'm playing. And that's the first step. I wish I'd known this in high school. Because when I had my little cassette player and I'm trying to transcribe it, I learn a solo, I rewind it and then play it on my horn. But if you can sing it, that means you have it in your body. And if you internalize it, that's what that means. And once you internalize it, that means you can train yourself to play that. And the fact that you sang what I just played, I was key A minor at that time. But did it matter? Absolutely not. So when you're working on your improvisation, if you want to learn how to play on the blues, go find a recording of Louis Armstrong playing the blues. Whoever your favorite musician is, a vocalist singing the blues. Ooh-wee. If you can sing the phrase accurately and in tune, that means that you can train yourself to play it. You know what I mean? So does anyone have any questions about that thus far? Any questions? Yes? No? Let's talk about a tune. I want to break down one other myth about things being hard. In music, who knows the song jazz tune Giant Steps? Tell me something about Giant Steps with the trumpet.
So it was originally written as a study for John Coltrane. It goes through
Okay, so most of the time when I ask about the song, for those of you that don't know Giant Steps, most people say this song is very difficult to play. And would you all agree? Would you raise your hand if you think that song is very difficult to play? Think Giant Steps is a difficult song? Tell me why. Raise your hand, come on, talk to me. Yes, why is it difficult? Say it again.
Because all the different key changes, and it's hard to jump around from key to key.
It's good. That's great. So I'm going to dispel him if he said it shifts to a lot of keys and it's very difficult to improvise on. And I hear that a lot. Folks say it's very fast. First of all, we're musicians, right? So what we do, we try to solve problems in music or solve issues in music. No song is fast. No song is difficult. I'll tell you why. You said there's a lot of different keys. Again, how many people are on 12 of the major scales? Raise your hands. Okay, that's not many. It's only 12. It's only 12 major scales. They all sound the same. If you learn all 12 major scales, you're done with that. You know, like how you learn to walk. You don't think about walking. When we get up and leave this room, you're going to go out of that door, and you're going to come down here. But it's like, this is what I want to do. You've internalized walking. Giant Steps is the same thing. I do have my trombone stand, but I also flushed it, messing with my case. I left it back there. So I'm going to lay my horn on the ground. Normally I don't do that. I'm going to sit to the piano and show you everything. I'm going to grab my case. I'll keep the, oh, thank you. Oh man, this is a full service operation again. We say that Giant Steps is difficult because it's fast. No song is fast. Every song is slow. John Coltrane practiced at least 11 hours a day, 11, 12, 13 sometimes. And when you practice something that much, nothing becomes everything. You become very familiar with things. So you don't have to play slow. You can play very fast. But Giant Steps, you turn it into a ballad. Solution number one. It's still the same song, but now it's not fast. You said something, and what was your answer? Say it again? It changes keys a lot. No, it doesn't. There's only 3 different key centers. Yeah, da 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 da. It's a lot of chord changes, but when you make those chord changes slow, and I'm gonna sit down to the piano and play it for you. And for anybody that wants to play jazz and improvise, all great improvisers in jazz are familiar with this instrument here, the piano. And you want to do that. So I'm going to show you how Giant Steps really is a simple song, because we're musicians and we know how to break things down. But when I was much younger, I did not. I said some of those same things. So if you play it slow, 1, 2, the melody is dee da dee da da dee da. So the first 4 notes of the song, and if you play the piano, that's a major 7 chord. So turn around to E flat. 2/5 turn around to G. 2/5 turn around to B. So it's only 3 key centers. John Coltrane came up with a way, and it's a set of 2/5-1s. But if you play the piano, you can see, oh, this is how it works. So I play the song, so like, I'm putting the groove on it. It's a pretty song. So it's no longer fast, and you can hear that. Now, I ask how many people know all the major scales. There are major scales and minor scales, but they all sound the same. It's not that many. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. Some of you may know 6 scales, so let's say you know 13 of the 26 letters in the alphabet. You can be good for a little while, but you're going to have problems probably reading, writing, and ultimately comprehending. So if you don't know all 12 of your major scales, you know, go ahead and deal with that. So Giant Steps being a difficult song, when I play it like that, I'm like, oh wow, now I can learn Giant Steps. I'm not playing it John Coltrane step. Sing it, you internalize that melody. It's like, oh wow. It's 3 key centers, which means you can play it in 4 different keys. You have it covered. So some of this may be maybe a little bit over your head, but it's not. It's the same thing as Mary Had a Little Lamb. Or you take any hymn. Most songs, like Sweet Hour of Prayer, based on the major scale. That's based on an arpeggio. So everything that we hear, things that we hear every day, we hear music. We just have to turn that thing off in our brains and say, oh man, that's difficult. It's fast, easy solution, nothing's fast. Slow it down. I tell my students at the college level, they want to play fast, but they can barely get through the phrase. I said, play it slow and correct. It was something I had to learn, even as a professional musician playing and went to Marshallis's band. I wanted to learn something, and he showed me a Clark technical trumpet exercise. I wanted to get my fast playing with velocity together. He said, you can do this Clark exercise. Most trumpet players, if you have Clark, you'll recognize that one. On the trumpet, though, I play all the brass instruments. Your range of motions about here. Trombone, position 1 to 7, our range of motions like this. So there are other things that we're physically fighting with. So one would tell me, I wanted to do it so bad. He walked by me, he said, "You're doing it too fast." I didn't want to hear it. "I'm not doing it too fast, I got this. He said, "Yeah, you're doing it too fast." But what he could hear were the little nuances and things that I was missing. So to go from position 1 to 4, that's skipping 3 positions. 4 to 2 is 2 positions. Then 2 to 1 is 1 position. So I'm always just in those da-da-dee-da in the first 4 notes. I'm playing 3 different physical position movements, motions. Whereas if I'm playing on trumpet or valve trombone or tuba, it's the same. But I go do-do-dee-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. That's what it is. But it wasn't until I slowed it down, I said, oh, now I can hear what it is that he's talking about. And it was a great lesson for me, and that was many years ago, but I still share it with my students nowadays. They're trying to learn a jazz tune. Why are you trying to play it fast? Play it slow and correctly. If you can play it slowly and play it correctly without stopping, then you can eventually, then you've learned it correctly. Playing fast is easy. Playing loud is easy. Playing soft and with intensity, that's difficult because it takes a lot more air to play soft with intensity than it does to play loud. Play loud, you just go, play. I'm kind of singing soft, but I have to have a lot of air to make those pushes and to keep the intensity in the sound. My time is just about up. So that's kind of it. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask? I know this is a really short master class, and I'm just going to go back in and fight my case. Does anyone have any questions? I want to keep you all on schedule. 1 or 2 questions, and then you go. Everything here, Kansas. Come on, yes.
What do you decide to practice now?
What do I decide to practice now? As a musician, I do a lot of writing and composing. So I don't practice my horn nearly as much as I used to, but I did put a lot of hours in. So I practice writing, I practice composing. I practice, and the great thing that you always don't understand about practicing, you're not making your instruments better. You're making, you better. You're developing yourself. Your instrument is just a tool. It's like, and if you can train yourself to play this instrument, imagine what you can do, with yourself. In terms of your just self-discipline. So for me, completing composition commissions for competitions and things like this. I have to set a schedule, and so I have to get this piece done, get it to my copier so he can send it back to me, and I look at it before we extract the parts to get them out to the schools. So I play my horn almost every day, but I work on music every day, all day. Whether I'm teaching, whether I'm, composing. So, but if you're talking about a practice on the horn schedule, and maybe if you have any other questions, so you all can get to your next thing. I'll hang around down here at the bottom for a second, unless the band has come up and get on stage, and we'll go out there. But it will take me at least 2.5 hours. I had a practice regimen that would be scales, arpeggios, chromatic scale, lip flexibility exercise, and that by itself would take 45 minutes. Breathing exercises, endurance exercises. So when I had that kind of practice schedule on the trombone, if that's what you're talking about specifically, that then didn't include time I spent on the piano. It would take about 2.5 hours. But I don't do that anymore. All right. So I don't know if anyone else has any questions, but take one more, and then we're going to turn it back over to Maestro. Yes. My favorite venue? Oh, that's hard. I'm trying to make it tonight. Here, at this one. And the thing is, because everywhere we go when we play music, it's another chance to connect with people. If I were to think about just places, one of my favorite places to go is Australia. And there are very few countries or continents that I have not been on. But I love Australia. It was reminded me of growing up in the country in Georgia, whether we were in Sydney or somewhere out on Mount Gambier. Folks, they spoke the Queen's English, so I didn't have the language barrier. But I'll tell you why I say hopefully tonight, and then I'll close with that. Music can sometimes convey what words can't. And there's something about music that can, connect us. Like I said, you have a language barrier. One time we were playing in South America. I'm not sure if it was Brazil or if it was Argentina, but we were somewhere in South America. We played this big venue, and it was they took us to dinner afterwards. And they took us to this really nice restaurant. We were kind of off in the corner somewhere, and they had a band setting up over there playing. And that band started playing. We were sitting down, just, ordered our drinks, waiting for the food to come, and they were playing music from a CD that we had just released. I'm talking about with Wynton Marsalis. I was still with his band at that time, so it was in the 90s. And I was like, wow, that CD hasn't been out for a month. All new music. And it was like, man. So we all got up from the table and went to where the musicians were, just walked up to the cats, and it was like, yo, hey man, we had a translator with us, but we left the translator behind. We just walked up to the cats and just, hugged them. It was like the greatest expression of love when someone loves you enough to play your music back for you, and they weren't reading. The music hadn't been published. They learned it from the recording. I was like, man, what a show of love through music. When we couldn't say it with words, we just hugged each other, and it was just like. And there were moments on the road with that band where that happened, where there were things that music could convey, where it's difficult to do with words, but sometimes, some way, shape, or form, music, what we all do, it knocks down those walls and those barriers that separate us because of what we look like and where we're from, and it just makes us all become what we really are. We just human beings, and we're existing together. And when you show through music the love that you can have for one another, it's a wonderful thing. So anyway, I'm gonna close on that. Thank you all very much. I'm gonna turn it back over to you.